When millions of people transitioned to remote work, our daily routines merged entirely with our pet schedules. Suddenly, we were home all day, and our dogs were right there with us, sometimes right on top of our keyboards. This constant physical proximity sparked a wave of internet panic. A narrative took hold that we had inadvertently created an entire generation of pandemic puppies, suffering from severe separation anxiety because they were rarely left alone. Many remote workers noticed they had what trainers call a Velcro dog. If a dog follows you from room to room, sleeps beneath your desk, and seeks out physical contact whenever possible, it is incredibly easy to mistake that high level of attachment for clinical panic. This forces a distinction we rarely had to make when we commuted to offices. Are we looking at a medical disorder, or are we confusing it with completely normal, healthy canine affection? A dog choosing to be near you does not automatically mean they are sick. To figure out what's really going on, we need an objective, scientific way to tell the difference between affection and pathology. We can look to a 2006 study out of Tufts University. Because this research was published well before the remote work boom, it provides us with a clean, established baseline for how dogs naturally form attachments without the noise of modern internet panic. The researchers laid out the parameters for a standard Velcro dog. These animals naturally possess a high desire for physical closeness and will actively seek out the same room as their human pack members. But the crucial behavioral identifier of a healthy Velcro dog is what happens next. They possess the ability to rest and settle, fully going to sleep as long as you remain stationary in that room. Neurologically, this is called disengagement. It is the dog's ability to turn off its alert state, drop its heart rate, and relax its central nervous system, confident that you are nearby. Their clinginess is a passive state. They strongly prefer to be in your space, but they do not require constant interaction or reassurance from you to feel safe. Dogs suffering from actual clinical separation anxiety experience a drastically different internal reality. This animated graph shows a core diagnostic marker called compounding urgency. While the healthy Velcro dog's arousal levels off at a low resting state, the clinical anxiety line shows an escalating state of arousal that aggressively trends upward. The dog simply cannot control this internal spike. When they hit this upper threshold, physical symptoms manifest. Even if you are just moving around the same house, a dog in this state will begin continuously pacing, heavily panting, and remaining hypervigilant. Self-soothing becomes impossible. Compounding urgency entirely robs the dog of the ability to disengage. Instead of relaxing, they are trapped in a physiological feedback loop of stress, unable to settle down regardless of how tired they are. The clear line dividing a loving pet from a sick one comes down to this. It is never about exactly where the dog is located in the room, but rather how their nervous system is behaving while they are there. When we apply the Tufts criteria, the pandemic puppy myth starts to fall apart. For the vast majority of owners, the work-from-home era simply forced us to observe normal, mundane canine pack behavior for 8 straight hours a day. This side-by-side comparison chart illustrates the practical takeaway for owners measuring their pet's mental state. You need to observe their downtime. On the left, the dog is fully asleep with relaxed breathing. On the right, the dog is standing rigidly, unable to break focus. If your dog is choosing to spend their afternoon passed out under your desk, that is a sign of a strong, highly functional bond. There is zero reason to feel guilty about it. Professional intervention, medication, and worry should be reserved strictly for pets that consistently exhibit that inability to disengage and settle. By understanding what healthy attachment actually looks like, remote workers can let go of their own anxiety, stop misdiagnosing their pets, and simply enjoy having a Velcro dog around the house.